I am not an expert on this at all, but I did talk to someone who is. I always get so stressed about tipping. Every year, it's the same thing, but for some reason, I need a good refresher. Okay, so here's the basic rule. You need to provide a tip to anyone who gives you a service on a regular basis throughout the year. I think we know that, right? That includes, you know, your nail technician, your babysitter, your housekeeper, your hairdresser, trainer, so on and so forth. However, the question is, how much extra do you tip these people?
The typical amount is either the cost of one service or between $20 to $75. So those are the people that provide regular services to you. So for example, your babysitter, they charge you $50 every time they come, right? So what you need to do is either you give them $50 extra for the holidays or some type of tip between $20 to $75. And if that tip is a little too much, for example, my hairdresser, she charges $250, right? I don't have to give a tip of $250, but give a tip around $50. I think that's appropriate.
So the overall rule is you can tip the cost of the service, but if it's too much, if it's too expensive or too extreme, like she mentioned the hairdresser, an example, right? Then you go somewhere between the $25 to $75 range. That's that. Now, how about those indirect services?
This is your mail person, the sanitation person, the door person. They all provide a service, but it's indirect, right? So for those people, since you don't have a regular cost of the service, you give them a tip between $25 to $75. And remember, cash is king.
Yes, keep cash handy this time of year. Always a good reminder. It is not a perfect science. Don't stress yourself out. Got to remind ourselves of that. The day you decide, for example, to give a tip, whoever happens to come get the bins, if we're talking about trash pickup day, just give it to that guy. Because I was saying, hey, do you need to give it to every single person? Sometimes there's 5 guys, right? I also asked about the Amazon and FedEx drivers, and she says, you're not obligated to pay them, but they are providing a service. So if you do decide to tip them, let's say on the day you decide to do it, again, it could be a different person. On the day you decide to do it, just give $20 and that should work.
Tipping is something that typically stresses a lot of people out because we're like, are we doing too little? Are we doing too much? So when in doubt, it's always nice to err on the side of over tipping. It is the holiday season. It is the season of giving. So over tip if you can.
Hello, I'm a big tipper.
Hey, big tipper.
I mean, I feel that too, just in general. You're never going to regret, well, you mostly won't if you overdid it,
Right.
But you will regret if you underdo it.
Yeah.
Because you keep thinking about it. At least I do.
Yep.
I like to spread it out all year long.
You mean you tip all the time?
Well, and sometimes not always with cash, but like I spread how much I love people. I feel like, and even people that do things for me all year long. So if they do something, I'll give someone something in the moment. If not, just waiting to the holidays to maybe give a tip or a gift or something to somebody that's provided me with a service.
We need more Melvins
We do.
sprinkled around the world.
Can you sprinkle some
Like
along
the
this way?
snowflakes. It would make the world a better
nice,
place.
right?
No, but I don't know about you guys. Every year I find myself just like,
I know.
oh my gosh. Again, we're going over this. Why?
Sure.
Why? I don't know what to do. I forget about it all.
Or how much. And I think that's a good framework that Patty provided, right?
Oh, also, remember, a lot of people have Venmo and Zelle, and so sometimes you don't have cash, even though we say keep cash handy, we don't. And you can even tip the valet
Like a
with
direct
Venmo or
deposit.
Zelle.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mentioned that to her. She's like, do you really want to be chasing, you know, the trash
your
truck
QR
down the
code?
street, like asking them what their Zelle or Venmo is? I'm like, I don't want to do that, but I could totally see myself doing that. And
In
I feel
heels,
like I would want to give one to each person.
Yes, of
I know
course.
she's saying it's okay, you don't have to just give it to the guy who comes that day to get the bins, but I don't know. I just
You want to be honoring of people and their time and their effort and the
it's
sacrifice.
a lot of work.
Yes.
And we produce a lot of garbage at our house, I tell you.
Nurses take tips as well, but...
Director Francis, we love you. But I just,
love you, Francis.
it's important for people to know that you see them and that you value them.
You appreciate the hard work they do.
But you got to do what's comfortable for you. Thank you, Aroxia.